As they say on Berg Hockey Live, let's do that Berg Hockey Live. And let's play two, as a matter of fact, from Frozen Pond Arena in Valencia, Pennsylvania. One of these two teams is going to taste victory for the first time in the 2021-2022 season. Will it be the Mars Planets or the Butler Golden Tornado? Hello, good evening, and welcome. Alongside Brian Mitchell, I'm Matt Popchak, and both these teams through a combined 4 games, shouldering the burden, bearing the brunt of a combined 4 losses, but it's still a very, very young season, obviously. And much is typically to be expected from a Mars Planets team coached by the veteran Steve Myers and assisted by Mikey Manganello, one of the longest tenured 1-2 coaching punches in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League. And as these two Class AA West Division rivals collide, Brian Mitchell, we look at a Mars team that has fallen on some unusually hard times and a Butler team that is eager tonight after dropping a game to Meadville that it was very much in until suddenly, with seconds to go before the ice cut, it wasn't.
Well, you talk about Mars, and you mentioned them first, so I'll start there. The Mars Planets, the big thing about you remember about them is it's high school hockey. It's cyclical. You're going to see younger players come up, time to step up. This is a rebuilding year for Mars. A couple years in, you know, they're starting a junior goaltender. They only have one goaltender on their junior and varsity roster, and that's Willow Starkey. So something to pay attention to is, you know, their depth in goal, and they're just trying to rebuild and get built through the middle school levels and seeing what they're going to get out of it. Maybe they can get some new players interested in the sport. They've had a really good run with goaltenders recently. It's just, you know, down year for them this year. They'll be back. It's Mars. It's always something to pay attention to there. When you're talking about the Butler Golden Tornado, they dropped down from AAA to AA this year. So it's a chance for them, and I was talking to a couple people in the pregame, for them to reignite that spark in the program, be a little more competitive in AA, in AA, because you look at the AAA teams, very top-heavy. You're going to go out there and you're going to get beat up. If you're not as deep as those other teams, you're not going to have a chance. And, you know, we're looking at a team like that. It's a big opportunity for them to rebuild their program and have that rebuilding year in a place where they're going to be a little more competitive.
Yeah, and I was there firsthand as an eyewitness to the Butler program experiencing its high water mark several years ago, and we'll talk about that more later. Willow Starkey also is a player that we're going to be talking about a lot, I think, as the season unfolds. You love seeing that diversity in the PIHL. The league is not a stranger to female goaltenders succeeding at the varsity level, and the book on Willow Starkey is that even though the numbers aren't pretty to look at, she's very fundamentally and tactically sound, and she has a very bright future with the varsity club.
I absolutely fell in love with her style whenever she played the last time on opening night, and not opening night, the second week, Monday of the second week. And listen, it's not, as we say, it's a rebuilding year for Mars. It's not a lot of her fault on the first couple games. She's very tactically sound. She can build that momentum as she's going, and as the season progresses, you like to see that out of your goaltender, and I'm interested to see how Mars builds around her as the season goes on.
Well, they say your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender, so the pressure's going to be on here a little bit, especially after the last game. The special teams battle is going to be interesting. Butler's going to be fired up after coughing up 3 power play goals to the Meadville Bulldogs in losing their season opener 8-4 to the Bulldogs last Monday night at the Barrel Complex. Mars coming off a 5-2 setback at the hands of the Montour Spartans in this very building, in spite of goals by Rohan Narishman, who has 2 on the young season, and Wes Scursey, who was integral to the success of the Planets, the last deep playoff run they made right before the pandemic shut everything down in 2020, when Mars was 1 goal away from a Penguins Cup final berth.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, we say everything's cyclical from year to year. We're going to talk about that 2 years ago, and it's tough to say because now you're talking about these young teams. I think I made a point on they've only got, 4 or 5 seniors on this team. So they're going to lean on those because they were sophomores on that run. So Mars, it's time to see what they are made of at this point and time to build up. Now, new opportunity against a team in Butler who's got something to prove coming down to AA.
Yeah, and I think both programs really are looking to dip into the fountain of youth as the season unfolds. Butler is not a particularly deep team at the moment, But help may very well be on the way after a one-win season a year ago. Butler's JVs made it all the way to the PIHL JV championship game a season ago before ultimately succumbing to North Hills. So as those players get older and matriculate, you figure the Golden Tornado are going to be loaded for bear, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, or so they hope, in PIHL Class AA. And I think, as you said also, just stepping down one classification for the foreseeable future is going to level the playing field, or ice, as it were, for a program that's on the mend.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about how going to the JV championship, having those opportunities, showing you can do it. That's all winning. That's building the confidence in a team. That's building the confidence, and you know how to actually win in a program. Now you just have to figure out how to fit the speed and the skill of going to the varsity level and becoming that type of a program and seeing what they do. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for Butler to redefine themselves and possibly see what's going to happen with this program.
And we are moments away from puck drop here between the host Golden Tornado, decked out in their white uniforms with the dark blue and Vegas gold trim, and the dark blue nameplates, numerals, pants, socks, and helmets. They're warming up off to the left, and off to our right, the always familiar Mars Varsity Road uniform with dark blue and yellow, almost reminiscent of the Michigan Wolverines men's Division I uniform from this distance, with that M logo with the planet off to the side and the yellow names, numerals, etc.
Absolutely. Mars reminds me of the Buffalo Sabres out there, their third jerseys. So I think they Sabres ripped off the Mars Planets. I don't know, maybe.
As a jersey geek, count me among the impressed.
Absolutely.
I have a soft spot for those thirds, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything with the pinstripes. So looks like we're going to get ourselves a thing. It's going to be Komarek and Garrett Gadosh out there for the in the stripes tonight. So it's good to see some of the, so the referees I got used to seeing throughout all the levels. Gadosh getting back out there. He's spent a lot of time on the island, spent a lot of time here doing the games here at the PIHL level. So glad to see. We're going to see how it plays out here. Looks like they're looking at something at that on the net down there on the left side, but you don't usually see them converging on one end, so we might be a short delay to the start of this game, but we'll see what they have to say.
And in that time, Nick Minton, the Butler head coach, who's a relative newcomer to the program, was barking out some last-minute instructions to his team over on the bench, and his team will attack from left to right on your computer screen or mobile device to begin the contest. And you notice the Golden Tornadoes have that pink cancer awareness tape around their sticks, including the goaltender blade used by E.J. Delaney, who will oppose Willow Starkey at the other end in goal tonight. Always like seeing that as well as far as hockey uniform tropes are concerned. The Planets win the draw, and we are underway here in Butler County. It's sent in deep by the Mars Planets, and playing this puck is number 51, Jake Lestigian. Lestigian is double-teamed behind the Butler goal line, but the Planets center it out in front, and that pass just a little too strong for Luke Raymundo, who would have had a wide-open look on goal had he been able to handle that puck. Butler trying to settle the play down and break it out methodically to center. Instead, it'll come back to the Planets defensively and up ahead for Lestigian one more time, who will quickly sail it ahead to Raymundo. Luke Raymundo losing it to Gregory. That is Colton Gregory, the senior forward for the Butler Golden Tornado. He goes to the opposite corner for Trevor Ackelson, the senior defenseman, who sends it up to neutral ice. Mars quickly dumping it back in so the Planets can make a line change. And so that's how the goings-on get going on in this first minute of scoreless hockey here at Frozen Pond Arena. Taking over for the Planets is 24 Ryan Mitchell, the defenseman. Mitchell, a senior, with a power play assist as his lone point of the season. 3 games in. Golden Tornado on the forecheck. A double team there forces a puck loose, and that puck is controlled for the moment by the Mars Planets. The Planets unable to clear their area, however. Butler continuing to press. Here's a man open between the circles. Pass down low. Backhander score! Parker Worsley dangles snipe. It's a good day to Selly hard. And 1:27 in, the Golden Tornado draw first blood.
One of my favorite lines, the inside-outside backhand goal. That's all you can really say about it. It was a beautiful play getting in on the turnover, and Butler taking advantage of the opportunity. Seemed like it was little Mars very early in this game, and Butler able to take advantage of that. 1-0, Golden Tornado.
Well, we talked as Delaney covers up for a face-off in his own end. We talked about how late period goals were kryptonite in Butler's season opener. Well, they get an early goal this time. Let's see how they can feed off that. And by that same token, let's see how the Mars Planets react. And let's see what kind of support they can give in response to Willow Starkey at the other end as the Golden Tornado win the draw, and they are right back on the attack. Here's Worsley already hungry for a second after giving his team the lead a minute 27 in. Worsley trapped in the corner, sends it out to the point for Grant Holt. Holt's shot partially fanned on, goes to the corner, never quite made it all the way to the cage, where it's picked up by Ben Olszewski, the sophomore, gets it up but not out. In pressing deep for Butler is sophomore forward Jack Johnson, comes to the left point where it's kept alive by the Golden Tornado. Johnson centering for Worsley, loose between the circles, turned over to the Golden Tornado, and they keep the play alive. Great shift here offensively by Butler right after taking the lead, and that was a nice deflection. That went just over the crossbar. Planets fighting for it as one of the Golden Tornado wants to come off here. That's Kean Freeze, the sophomore defenseman, as Butler's making a partial change behind the play. Mars taking over finally after really being put on their heels early in this hockey game. They lose the puck at the Butler blue line, and the Golden Tornado get that transition game going all over again. Here coming in is number 88, Brody Simcoe, the junior, who has a pair of goals early in the season for Butler, and we get a whistle and a penalty coming up here. And going to the power play for the first time tonight with a 1-0 lead and 14-19 to go in the first period will be Butler.
Just a harmless interference call there. Mars getting caught a little bit on their toes now, so it's a good showing for Butler early.
Butler looking for its first power play goal in its second game of regular season PIHL play. Again, very, very eager to reverse their fortunes from their season opener as far as winning the special teams battle is concerned. And it was the sophomore Wilma Tusek who was the guilty party, and Butler wins the faceoff. From the left hash, it's sent up to the point for Aaron Shoup. Shoup to the half wall, centered between the circles. That pass from Kyle Grasha, the Butler captain, the senior, was intended for number 91, Owen Denny, but it was not to be. Golden Tornado playing it down deep. They get it up high for Simcoe. Simcoe down to the near corner. Back to 71. The captain shoots and scores! Kyle Grasha with the power play tally, and the Golden Tornado are off and running with 13:40 to play in period one. 2-0 Butler.
It was all about the movement there. I was paying attention to that play, and all I saw was Butler making the movement, switching on the defense. They were pulling players up, pushing players back, making sure that they kept Mars on their toes. Mars moved out of position, and the shot just came out of nowhere. A nice high shot to make it 2-0. Guess it's not up 82-2, by the way. On your scoreboard, they will adjust that.
Yeah, they were trying to get the penalty clock on the Mars side of the scoreboard here at Frozen Pond straightened out, and still trying to do so at the moment. But it is a 2-0 lead for the Butler Golden Tornado, playing here on home ice with 13:37 to go in the first period. First it was Parker Worsley at even strength, and then the captain makes it happen. Kyle Grasha on the man advantage, and Mars has some work to do early on here as they send the puck deep in on goal, where Delaney will casually play it to his left. Golden Tornado going D to D behind their own goal line, where it's turned over to the Planets. Here's Scorsese between the circles. Backhander partially blocked. Scorsese gets his own rebound, still fighting for it. Sends it back to the point, where it's scooped up there by Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell, the alternate captain, his shot was partially blocked from up high. Butler in fighting for it deep, trying to clean things up defensively. They can't. Lestigian wins the puck battle there for Mars. Lestigian going to Raimundo. Raimundo hit into the corner boards, jars the puck loose, but they find Scorsese between the circles. Scorsese had that puck, lost it at his feet, couldn't handle the pass, and the Mars captain and his mates will tag up as the Planets are content to just get this puck deep and change it up behind the play. This outlet pass is scooped up in flight by Denny, who drops it back for 78, Braden Pavlik, the junior. Pavlik forces this turnover, but Mars cleans it up promptly. Nathan Basola, the sophomore defenseman, puts the puck out of play into his own bench, and we get a stoppage in the proceedings with 12:16 to go in the first. Golden Tornado off to a fast start.
Yeah, they got Mars on their toes, as I said a little bit earlier. It's going to be big to see if that momentum can be maintained, but I don't see any reason why it can't this early on in the game. Mars is going to need to figure out a way to get through this Golden Tornado defense. They're having a little bit of a tougher time in the neutral zone as we go on.
Butler playing it defensively. Up off a stick. That pass was mishandled. It comes right to one of the Planets, and here's a shot that went off his own man. That was, I think, Ethan Lipchin firing it inadvertently off of one of his line mates. And Butler comes back the other way as Pavlik sends this puck deep after gaining the red line. It'll be picked up defensively by Ben Olszewski, who's helping his defenseman on the back check. Puck fired from a bad angle off the side of the net by Braden Pavlik. Now it comes to the opposite corner where the Planets will reel it in and go east to west, or try to anyway. Butler intercepts and dumps it right back into the Mars zone. With it behind his own net is Nathan Basola. Planets now amble out to center, and they're just able to keep the play on side as this puck is ushered in behind the Golden Tornado goal. Butler gets to it first, and the Planets will have to reset in the neutral zone. They're unable to handle this puck, as inadvertently sending it into the Mars bench was sophomore Jack Johnson.
Just some good back and forth there. Nothing really wrong with that type of hockey. I like that. It's a good response for the Planets in that point, but Butler seems to be still holding in there.
Off the face-off, this pass misfired, is picked up by the Mars Planets. They try to clear their zone. They have some trouble, though, and going in deep after this puck are the Planets. They get it to the near corner for Sam Steigerwald, the freshman blue liner, and eventually it's sent up ahead to Bowser. Ben Bowser, the freshman, over the line, and this shot on goal is sticked aside by Delaney. Delaney had that near post covered as Mars intercepts at the red line and gets it into Butler territory. Golden Tornado going corner to corner. On the back check, Parker Worsley, who had the first goal of the game, trying to get it out. With it now is Simcoe for Butler. Simcoe from his knees trying to play this puck, and he at least gets it to the half wall and negates an immediate scoring threat. And a penalty is coming up against the Planets as Delaney comes off for the extra attacker, and it looks like Grasha, the captain, is going to be the extra man. Delayed penalty call coming up against the Planets, who already have a 2-0 hole out of which to climb. Here's Parker Worsley coming in over the line, right wing side. Worsley makes a move, follows this puck behind the net. Worsley to the corner. Golden Tornado doing a good job supporting this puck and putting it off the blocker of Willow Starkey, who might have gotten a piece of it. Controlled now at the right point by Holt, who is being worked over hard by Matusek. To the corner it goes, and now Simcoe with it. Finally fighting for possession for Mars was Steigerwald, and the whistle blows with 9:27 to go in the first. A second power play opportunity for the Golden Tornado, which are already 1 for 1.
The Bowser just got an extra stick down into the legs of the Golden Tornado player down in the corner, an extended play there. He missed a lot of it towards the end, but tripping minors called there, and that's not something you want to see down 2-0 early.
Mars trying to generate some momentum off its PK. They are coming in, killing penalties at a 20% clip through their first 3 outings of the season. Butler over the line, through the goal mouth and by everybody. Playing this puck now will be Trevor Ackelson, the defenseman. Planets get to it first, though, and they clear. So a good face-off win defensively and a good clear there, and now a cheaply given away puck here might lead to a shorthanded chance if the Golden Tornado aren't more careful. Mars steals this puck, and they're able to at least take some more time off the penalty clock. 1:13 to go now on the man advantage, and again tripping the indication against the freshman, Ben Bowser. Ackelson from the left point for Butler. Goes to the circle, and this shot pass is sent wide by Colton Gregory. I think Gregory just seemed a little bit indecisive with that puck. Not quite sure he wanted to shoot that from his off wing. Golden Tornado out in front, and this one is put by Grasha right into the glove hand of Willow Starkey, who holds on with 42 to go in the man advantage.
So one thing I noticed about her a couple weeks ago is that she really likes to use that glove hand. She gets quick, she can get into the groove. That's something you got to pay attention to with her because she can flash the leather.
And when she is literally between her pipes, when she stays within herself, she's a very sound positional keeper, I am told. It's those perimeter plays that can be a bugaboo, and Butler has forced this puck to the perimeter, trying to wrap around chance. Puck loose on Starkey's doorstep, and it's cleared out of there. I didn't see who got the stick on it from Mars. I think it was Steigerwald who got that out of harm's way. Golden Tornado still pressing, though. One-timer, score! Dare we call it a Power of Bowser power play? Well, there wasn't anything he could have done about that one. Owen Denny on the one-timer gives Butler a 3-0 advantage with 7:46 to go in the first. A second consecutive power play tally for the home team.
No sponsors, sir. If you would like to sponsor us, that'd be fine. But hey, they're all ready to go already. Look at them line up. The defense for Butler wasn't even ready to go. Everybody else was lined up, and they moved up. So both these teams ready to go and absolutely wired here early.
And Butler showing tremendous patience and puck movement again on its power play, scoring that goal in the waning moments of the minor penalty to Ben Bowser. And the Planets, midway through this opening frame, have their work cut out here on the road. And Ben Olszewski, the sophomore, will gain the red line and send this puck deep. Playing it at the left point for Mars is Richie Lusk, the junior. Lusk getting some help from Al McKee, the big senior. Good old-fashioned puck battle here is going to be won by the Planets. Fighting for it was Bowser, who stays on the ice here. And Bowser works this puck to the half boards and resets it to Lusk. Lusk fanned on the shot. It comes back to Lusk now from up high. It goes off of Butler body. Butler just taking away all the shooting space defensively here on this forecheck for the Mars Planets. It was a good shift, but no real quality shots to come of it for Mars. Bowser just gets this puck deep, and the Planets are going to change it up here with Butler playing the puck defensively around the boards. It comes up to Johnson. Johnson around a man looking for Worsley, and Worsley takes it up ahead over the line, trying to split a pair of Planets defensemen. He cannot, but Holt is there trailing the play perfectly, and he has the puck for Butler. Holt to the corner, lost that double team, and we get a whistle and possibly another penalty coming up here against the Fighting Planets.
Roughing.
That is the indication with just over 6 to go in the first. And this time it'll be Ryan Mitchell feeling shame for 2 minutes and then getting free.
They're just in their heads now. Steve Myers needs to get into his own team's head right now, get him a little bit calmed down because they just gave up 2 power play goals. You don't want to give up a third here.
And Butler, we said a week ago, the skate was on the other foot, as it were. They coughed up 3 power play goals in that loss to Meadville. Now the script has been rewritten, to say the least, and the script's not over yet. Here's Grasha from a bad angle, firing off the body of Starkey. To the corner it goes. Butler again on the power play with 5:40 to go on a running first period clock and a 3-goal advantage. Up high for Simcoe, the alternate captain. For Shoup, for Grasha, left wing side. Grasha trying a shot pass. He was trying to center it, I think, for Denny, who's looking for his second in a row, but that was blocked by the Planets. Butler still operating methodically here, though, with the puck. From deep in the corner, with it for the Golden Tornadoes, Grasha out in front. Shot
Good
from
save.
Dead central by Denny is indeed denied by Starkey, and that was a key save there to keep this game 3-0 as we're midway through the man advantage.
The only thing that I'm noticing from her that I'm not really agreeing with right now is she's playing real low in her net. That's an indication whenever you're down some multiple goals, you know, you're not real confident. It's a nice little detail, but as you move along, you have to get up and be able to take away that post because any shot up high is going to be a tough one to make a save on.
Now Butler in a little trouble in its own end as Mars is pressing shorthanded with 33 seconds to go on its PK. Its third PK of the game already as Grasha enters the Planet zone. Grasha pulling up inside the left circle, drops it back for Denny. Couldn't handle that pass. He was too well covered, but it's intercepted by Simcoe.
Play.
And Simcoe puts it off the stick of Starkey, I think, and then off the glass and up into the protective netting. It'll be a face-off in the Mars zone with 17 seconds to go in the minor to Mitchell. Gregory to take the draw against Declan Abbey, the sophomore for Mars, and Abbey wins it cleanly to the boards. It's cleared up but not out. Ackelson with a good keep at the point. For Gregory, as this puck is misfired, and Mars takes over, and they have an opportunity 2-on-2 if they hurry. Abbey in over the line. Abbey has some space now.
Penalty
puts
expired.
It off the stick of E.J. Delaney as we're back to equal strength. Planets, can they generate some momentum from their PK as Butler will have to settle for a modest 2 of 3 clip on the man advantage with time winding down in this first period. Golden Tornado back over the Mars line as this shot is into the pillows of Willow Starkey, and she drops to her knees to cover for a face-off.
Yeah, those are the momentum builders. You have a really good penalty kill, and you get the opportunity to get back out there and get an offensive chance on the change of the penalty. And, you know, that's one of those things you want to look at when you're down 3-0 early in the first. So we'll see how that builds on them. Butler is still pressing, though.
And they win an offensive zone draw, and they are not taking their foot off the pedal. Here's Simcoe to the goal, putting it just wide. Planets trying to clean up their own zone as Simcoe forces another turnover deep. Now Mars will finally gain possession, but they'll chip it unintentionally off the rafter into their own bench, and this will end up being a face-off in Mars territory to the right of Starkey.
3:17 to go here. Shots are 9-3 in favor of the Golden Tornado in their home opener this year.
And Butler will tap this puck off the face-off toward the goal, and it'll be not covered by Starkey. Oh, that was a big, juicy rebound there for Worsley, who already has one in this first period. Couldn't quite handle that one, though. Over the line is Scursey. Wes Scursey building up speed.
Ooh,
almost put that
sneaky.
in off Delaney off a bad angle. That was a slick attempt by Wes Scursey, who was the Planet's leading returning scorer from a year ago. 10 goals and 20 points for Wes Scursey as a junior. And he's already got 3 points in 3 games this year, so you always got to look out for him.
I think you underestimate the sneakiness, sir.
Not with him, I don't. Not when he has the puck. And he skates very well, too. One of the Planet's more talented all-around players as far as the returnees are concerned. Mars with it in neutral ice. Max Weaver, the senior, over the line, is dispossessed. And coming up ahead of this play in pursuit of the puck is Grasha. Grasha with an aggressive forecheck. Forces some traffic here at the Mars blue line, and the Golden Tornado are going to get this puck and send it deep. In behind the Mars net, playing it is Ryan Mitchell, the senior. Up ahead now to Weaver. Weaver, centering pass for Bowser right down the middle. Bowser around his man is poke checked at the last moment. Good work there defensively by Butler. That was Ackelson making the play on that puck. Grasha trying to keep it in left point. He does, but Mars gains control, puts it off the glass and back to center where Ackelson and company are waiting for it. Aaron Shoup's outlet pass went a little too heavy, though, and the Planets will take over from their own zone. Trying to make at least a partial line change here as they go on the attack in the final minute 38 of first period play. Planets digging for this one as it's sent out in front. Loose puck. Narishman unable to get a handle on that one as he was very well marked by a pair of Butler defenders. Planets right back in over the line in earnest, though. Here's Mitchell pinching. Mitchell drawing the attention of a couple of Butler defenders. Planets win this puck, and McKee tries to catch Delaney napping there with that try. Instead, it's going to go all the way to the other end of the ice where Starkey had to withstand a hard-charging Golden Tornado skater there. That was, I think, Gregory, it looked like. It was Colton Gregory, but she hangs on.
Mars getting back into this one slowly. That momentum starting to build, that pendulum swinging the other way. It'll be interesting going into the second period. Get a quick one here in this last minute, then things get interesting.
Late period goals are a funny thing in hockey. They can change a game on a dime, and Mars would love one right now. Over the line comes Lestition. This shot from the right wing put just wide by Lestition. Steigerwald left point with 45 to go in the period. Lestition lets it go to the corner for Scursy. Scursy for Lestition. Lestition immediately double-teamed, and he fights hard to keep control of the puck. To the left point for Steigerwald. Steigerwald through a crowd off the body of one of the Butler defensemen. That was Rowan Musco, who's actually on the roster as a forward, is the senior. But that was a good defensive play there to help out his mates. 20 to go in the period now. Golden Tornado now go on the forecheck as the Mars captain Scursy is able to win possession of that puck and pry it free. Gets it up ahead a little too far for Raimundo. It will not be icing. Instead, it'll be played in flight by Holt with 4 seconds left. And this one whistled just wide of Delaney as the period comes to an end. Ian Ettinger, the junior, just barely missing before the horn sounded. And at the horn, after one, it is the Butler Golden Tornado 3 and the Mars Planets nothing. With Brian Mitchell, I'm Matt Popchuk, and it's the first of a doubleheader here on Berg Hockey Live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. Back here in Valencia at Frozen Pond Arena, where the Butler Golden Tornado are looking to even their record at 1-1, and the Mars Planets are looking to avoid falling into an early 0-4 hole in this PIHL Class AA Western Division affair that sees the Golden Tornado with an impressive-looking 3-0 lead over the visitors after 17 minutes of hockey. And it's a cliche to say that Butler dictated the tempo, but they were really flying in that first period, and they're flying right off the draw as Nick Grasha, who had one of the 3 Butler goals and one of 2 on the man advantage for that matter, nearly had another as he fired that hard, and Willow Starkey, the Mars goaltender, just barely got a piece. And here comes Lestition over the line on the counterattack for the Planets as this shot from distance by Scursy on the follow-up is blocked off by Delaney. Turnover to Scursy. Scursy fought off the puck aggressively by Gregory. Gregory trying to generate a chance of his own going the other way. He couldn't, and Butler will work this puck up over the Mars blue line before it's poke-checked away by Lestition. Lestition trying to get something going for his team here as the Planets change lines early in the second period. Butler goes D to D, and off a Mars stick it goes. Fighting for it in the corner for the Golden Tornado is Adam Deal, the junior. Up ahead it comes, a little too far for Grasha. Played by a Planets glove. Puck is airborne now and settled down by Abby. Abby going back to Sam Steigerwald defensively, but it's turned over to Gregory. Gregory shoots and scores!
There was not much room on that screen. That was under a defender's arm and just up over the glove of Starkey. Not much she can do about it. That was a well-shot puck. 4-0.
Tough Luxky on the Bardowski. What a shot by Gregory. His second of the season. And it is 4-0 Golden Tornado. A minute 16 into the second period. And we have a stoppage in play.
Just another harmless turnover in the neutral zone, and came across the blue line. Butler was able to capitalize on it.
And that shot had laser accuracy from Colton Gregory.
We were staring right down Main Street on that one. It was not something that was an easy stop.
Sorry, Mitch, that's
No,
a laser from Richie Lusk, the junior defenseman of the Mars Planets, right into the stomach of E.J. Delaney. Delaney coming off a 21-save effort as he struggles to cover this puck off the face-off win by the Planets. Both goaltenders with 21 saves in their last PIHL varsity games. As we said earlier, Butler was defeated by Meadville and Mars by Montour. And here come the Golden Tornado over the line, trying to add to a 4-0 lead with still 15 minutes to go till they cut the ice here at Frozen Pond. Murphy dump back through center. It'll be gathered in by Aaron Shoup. Shoup sends it over the Mars blue line where it'll be settled down by Lusk. And the defensive pairings for either team kind of playing pitch and catch at the moment, as this time the Golden Tornado will send it deep, but it will not be icing. Mars has to play this puck, and they give it away to Brody Simcoe. Simcoe unable to keep the play alive. Mars clears the zone. Retreating in his own end is Ackelson. Ackelson carrying this puck as coming after him in hot pursuit is Luke Raimundo. To the near side it comes.
That was Matusik, and he was fast.
Yes, he was. Here's Simcoe trying to be a step faster. Wraparound try, shooting, and it's off the crossbar, and somehow, I don't know how that puck stayed out. It looked to be in and out, Brian, from our vantage point, but the official immediately putting up the washout signal, so we're going to go with that.
He had a good angle on it. I thought the same thing as you did, but unfortunately, we're the only people that saw that.
So the Planets dodge a bit of a bullet there early in the second, and they gather this puck in and send it around the half boards, not out, but no matter, it'll be cleaned up by Scursy. Scursy in flight into the stomach of Delaney. Save made, rebound is cleaned up immediately by Freeze. Freeze, the lumbering sophomore, goes back to play this puck as one of the Golden Tornado was dumped right in front of Delaney. Play will go on here with 13 and a half to go in the second. This 2-on-2 battle near boards is going to be won by Butler, but they can't clear their zone. Here's a hard slap shot, and Delaney was ready for it. Steigerwald putting all kinds of mustard on that one, but right into the glove of the sophomore E.J. Delaney.
Good save by Delaney. I do like how he's responding to him. He's a big-bodied goaltender in net right now. That is one thing you like to see, especially when you're up 4-0. You still got to give the effort, and he's given enough to give his team in the big lead.
He's turned aside all 9 pieces of vulcanized rubber that have come his way. And Mars, if they have their druthers, are going to be throwing a lot more at him before this game is over. Here come the Planets on the attack. Abbey over the line, dumps it deep, wide to the right of Delaney, the Butler netminder. Loose at the side of the Golden Tornado goal. It's sent to the far boards and played back to the far corner. Working for this puck defensively is Rocco Pellegrino, the junior. Pellegrino lost possession. Save made by Delaney. Rebound. Score! Abbey goes downtown, goes to the net, and makes the donut disappear. Mars gets a big one to get on the board with 12:40 to go to the ice cut. It's a 4-1 game now in favor of the Butler Golden Tornado.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention to the play. I was watching a player come off on the Butler side. That was Ashton Skiba. He was coming out. He was hobbled over as he came off the bench. He's on the bench right now. He looks like he's a little bit of pain right now.
The shot came in from the left side, and Delaney made the save but could not handle the rebound. And good things happen when he go to the net, and the sophomore Declan Abbey did just that. Of course, when you wear the number 66 for your hockey team, you better have a nose for the net, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that he has anything to live up to or anything. But Abbey, in any event, gets his first varsity goal of the campaign, and Mars has a little bit of a pulse here with still a lot of time to go in the second period, 12:05 to play. And the Planets on the road stealing some of that momentum back after Butler dominated the first period.
Absolutely. That's a huge goal for Mars here. You know, you were down 4-0. You have to show some kind of spark. And getting one there on that type of a play is one that you definitely will help you out in the long run.
Matusek trying to pinch and go after this one. The sophomore is not going to win this battle, however. Butler going in aggressively after this puck, and they've been a hard skating team all night. I didn't really get a chance to finish my thought at the beginning of the second period. It's a cliche to say dictate the tempo, but I really feel they did that as McKee almost had a chance the other way off the bouncing puck off the boards. And Simcoe will be content to gain the red line and send this deep. Morris playing it defensively.
Ooh.
As this goes off the stick of Parker Worsley, who was trying to create havoc, and he did just that as he forced an offensive zone faceoff.
That ended up behind the bleachers where they keep all the storage stuff here at Frozen Pond Arena. Far end. Went over the Butler student section at least, so nobody got to take home a free puck tonight. They are not free puck giveaways here in the PIHL.
The young pink-clad partisans, glad to see them turning out and turning out well for their team.
That one's going to go out to the right in front to a family member. They'll throw it back.
Trying to rally their team on here, cheer their team on to their first win of the 2021-2022 season. Butler again played in Class AAA a season ago, and it was a rough year. 1-19 in the 11-team classification, moved down to AA this season.
I didn't get the number, but it was a nice stick check on Skersey there. Went across center as he had an opportunity to cut, and it kept them out of the net.
And Skersey puts a hard wrister right on Delaney, who has to be alert to make the save, sealing off that near post. Skersey having a great shift here. Keeps this puck alive at the Mars bench. Centering pass for Skersey. Skersey trying to dangle around a man and maybe just try to do a little bit too much there as Johnson applied the poke check easily. And Simcoe, is going to be able to work this puck out himself from his own zone and come in over the Mars blue line. Simcoe trying to weave it through the legs of the Mars defenseman Ettinger. And those two push and shove, and we're going to get at least one penalty here, possibly two.
I got a rough.
And this one looks like it's going to be a power play, possibly for the Mars Planets, as Simcoe is going to be the only one going off. And it looks like it will be a roughing call.
Minton's looking for an interference call here.
And I can certainly understand his beef, as Simcoe looked like with his speed and with the puck possession, he had positioning on the Mars back checker.
The first thing out of your mouth was there might be two here. So, I mean, you saw something there that didn't make sense. And that's how usually I call it. If I see something that doesn't make sense, it's usually something coming on. So there you go.
So now the Mars Planets, who are clicking at a 22.2% rate on the power play, are trying to turn the tide here even more so in their general direction with under 10 to go in the second period. They have their first power play chance of the hockey game, trailing 4-1, but again, still lots and lots of time left. And Mars looks like a team that has a little bit of life after that goal by Declan Abbey. To the point it goes for Steigerwald. Steigerwald through a crowd. It's redirected just wide by Lestitian. Planets win this puck battle in the corner, and they work it over to Skersey at the top of the circle. Through a crowd, it's loose, save made, rebound,
penalty
blocked off.
Another penalty coming up against Butler.
It'll be an interference call against the Golden Tornado, and we will play 5-on-3, barring unforeseen developments, for 1 minute and 17 seconds. And one wonders, Brian, if Steve Myers keeps this timeout in his pocket.
Well, let's see.
It's a big juncture in the game. A 5-on-3 power play, your team down by 3.
I say you roll the dice here, you give yourself an opportunity to get one. If you get that one, then maybe you call it and regroup, because then you're only down by 1.
Steigerwald off the faceoff win by the Planets for Skersey, right wing circle. Skersey pulling back to Steigerwald at the point. Steigerwald left side as this puck is fired wide by Lipchin. Skersey for Lipchin. Lipchin left circle, snapshot off the iron. Ethan Lipchin finding metal but not mesh. Mars still with it. Steigerwald's shot blocked from up high. It's loose, poked at by a couple of Golden Tornado, and clearing the zone finally, and getting a much-deserved applause there is the senior Aaron Shoup. 40 to go in the 5-on-3. And here comes Skersey, the Mars captain, over the line one more time. Skersey, drop pass. Snapshot by Mitchell. Save made, rebound, kicked at by Delaney, and he freezes in the blue paint.
Good save.
It was. And even better rebound control. Trying to learn his lesson from that play where he coughed one up to Abby. And now it's 24 remaining on the 5-on-3. 8:35 to go in the period.
Mars is starting to move around a lot better, more fluid as the game's progressed. And maybe that's why you didn't call that timeout. You pay attention to how they're playing. And, you know, they were in a little bit of a groove there going into it.
Olszewski slaps it. Save made, and a good one by Delaney as Olszewski put all kinds of muscle into that one. And doing yeoman's work to clear the zone was Owen Denny, the sophomore. Denny has a power play goal earlier in this game, and he makes a big play on the PK there, and that'll negate the front end of the 5-on-3. It'll be a 5-on-4 now for about 40 seconds. Mars looking to hang on to momentum. Butler looking to turn it right back the other way with what could be a huge PK here midway through the second period. Planets with it now. Raimundo dangling, dragging out in front. It's on the doorstep. And Raimundo puts it on goal, and Delaney dropped to his feet to make that save. The puck never made it all the way to the net, I don't think. I think Johnson got a piece of that, blocking it for Butler. Mars still with it, though. Here's a shot. Score! Oh, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, Max Weaver. And so with 5 seconds to go in the second penalty, the Planets do get a power play goal. And, hey, one's better than none, and just like that, with still half a hockey game to go, it's a 2-goal contest.
That's why you're going to see with Billy. You could just tell Mars was starting to meld. You could tell something's going on. Butler was starting to get a little bit concerned with the defensive effort inside their own zone, so starting to chase the puck carrier, leaving a guy open, and that's how it pays.
Oh, Butler that close to a huge 5-on-3 kill, but it is Max Weaver for the second time this season, and the second time on special teams for that matter, nuzzling that nylon, and it is a 4-2 hockey game with 7:13 to go to the ice cut, and the Planets have even more life now. To the Mars bench it goes. Hard slapper into the glove of Delaney. Good shot by Lusk, better save by the sophomore.
None of this is on Lusk either. He's playing a pretty solid game so far. He's stepping up where they need him to. I mean, the 2 goals that he had to give up so far, nothing you can say about what he did.
And Skersey all ready to take this faceoff in the offensive zone for the Mars Planets. So we'll go against Simcoe. And the Planets with another faceoff win in Butler territory, but they can't hang on to the puck. They fight for it, though, and here's Raimundo battling in deep, trying to work over one of the larger Butler defenders as this puck is deflected just wide by Skersey. Skersey still fighting for this one at the side of the net as it's smothered by the second-year Tendy, E.J. Delaney.
Good little tip in front of the net between the legs by Skersey there. Almost made it a 1-goal game. It was that close.
The plot has certainly thickened, here in period number 2. 4-2 in favor of the Butler Golden Tornado. After the home team scored the first 4 of the game, Mars with an even strength and power play goal, and a little bit different feeling to this one now as Butler possesses the puck in front of the Planets bench. Raimundo near side, flipping it into the glove of number 55, Trevor Ackelson. As this puck is flipped back the other way, Jack Johnson in pursuit, and he has a step on Mitchell. Johnson trying to center it for Worsley. That pass broken up, and a good play there by Mitchell to stand his ground on the back check. Morris trying to mount a quick counterattack here as Skersey's shot was partially deflected on its way into Delaney, and Delaney will take no chances. Shots now 18-13 in favor of the Planets.
Yeah, imagine how that ice just tipped the other way. You started to see the momentum build up. You started to see them get a little more fluid in their own zone, then a defensive zone, and then they brought it back into their own zone and a couple power play opportunities for the Planets, and It's now a new hockey game.
Pavlik off the face-off, off the off wing, puts it right off the leg of Willow Starkey, and she dives to her left to deny the follow-up opportunity by Denny, who was that close to getting his second of the night. To the point it comes for Shoup. Sends it in deep for Braden Pavlik. Pavlik unable to hang onto this puck as it's skated back to center by Abby. Abby up ahead for Ethan Lipchin, dropping for Abby. Abby's turnaround try just wide. Abby trying to score an unconscious goal there right in the middle of the slot area, and almost did. Golden Tornado trying to regroup defensively here as this puck is put back to the left point but not out. Steigerwald through traffic. Kick save made there by Delaney. That might have hit something on the way in. Ackelson gave it away at the side of the net. Oh, cross ice pass went just wide. The Planets had something going there on Delaney's doorstep. Here's Max Weaver, who had that big power play goal for the Planets. He's hit hard into the glass as this puck goes back the other way. And in pursuit is Pavlik, who will spray Willow Starkey, but that's all. Starkey got there in time to cover for the faceoff with under 5 minutes to play in the period.
It's just tough to say call this game right now because you look and you talk about the tale of two periods here. Butler comes out flying in that first, and then all of a sudden it's all Mars in the second. And, you know, the two teams seem like they were starting, you know, this game was going a certain way in the first 15, and then all of a sudden you're, we're talking about a two-goal game again.
Narishman is ridden off the play there for Mars as the Planets continue to ramp up the pressure with that forecheck. And let's see who wins this 50-50 battle. It's going to be the Planets. Narishman trying to get it back to Mitchell at the near point. It's not going to get there. Instead, the Golden Tornado captain, Grasha, is going to go in digging for this one, and he'll come out with the puck, but it's poked off his stick by Mitchell. Gregory, trailing the play, scoops it up for Butler. From the right point, it's played deep. And a hard hit by Freeze on one of the Planets. He bodies into the half boards. Puck loose between the circles, scooped up by Mars, and they come back through center. With it is Matusek. Matusek puts it wide as he is hit hard to the ice, and he and one of the Golden Tornado are really pushing and shoving. Grant Holt was absolutely working him over with his stick. Nothing called as Delaney swallows this puck from distance.
Tricky shot, good save.
You know, some fans wanted a call there, and I'm not so sure there shouldn't have been one, but officials letting the boys play here with time ticking away in the second. It's a two-goal game still.
Just a little extra, you know, a little glove to the back of the head. I think is what everybody was looking at, but it wasn't called, so we play on.
Butler trying a quick break out here, and they might get one as Jack Johnson takes this puck in flight, shoots it just wide of the post. Picked up at the opposite end by Parker Worsley. Centering pass for Johnson, couldn't take it, but Hoffman will. Nick Hoffman from the left point between the circles. Worsley lets it go for Simcoe. Simcoe surveying the play, turning around and shooting. That was blocked by Steigerwald. Golden Tornado still playing this puck between the circles as it's put off the body of Ettinger and into the far corner. Kept at the blue line, but not for long by Simcoe as he asked to retreat. And the Golden Tornado have to tag up here with under 3 minutes to go in the second. Ettinger sends it around the boards. Scooped up by Lestigian. Lestigian for Skersey, who's pinned against the corner. Simcoe trying to kick the puck loose. He does. Pellegrino off the boards and up ahead for Parker Worsley. Worsley 1-on-2. Worsley on his backhand puts it off the knees of Willow Starkey. Puck to the opposite end now, and Morris skates it back to center. Lestigian getting it deep, and Steve Myers wants to make a quick change here. Butler trying to catch the Planets
play by Weaver
in a bad change. Johnson coming over the line, dropping for Simcoe. Simcoe shooting that hard wrister off the shoulder of Starkey, who just got a piece of it, and somehow the puck stayed in play. Under 2 to go now till the ice cut here at Frozen Pond Arena. Retreating is Shoup for the Golden Tornado. Some good end-to-end action here to close out the second. Will it result in anything on the scoreboard? We'll see. Up ahead for Carson Bish. Bish over the blue line. To the corner. Ryan Mitchell pursuing defensively for Mars as he takes a hard hit, but is no worse for the wear. Planets counterattacking now. Here's Weaver maneuvering around Ackelson. Weaver in the corner. Centers it. That pass intended for Lipchin deflected. Golden Tornado push it to the corner. It's behind the Butler net now. Ackelson off the corner boards. Now it comes free to Bish. Bish overskated it. And Mars Planet is bumped off the puck. That's Weaver going down before he could do anything with that. Mitchell trying to go cross ice for one of his teammates. And that is Ethan Lipchin. But this puck's going to come all the way out to the Planet zone with less than a minute to play in the period. Golden Tornado going D to D. Having a little bit of trouble clearing their zone, but ultimately they do. Skiba with it, sends it deep. Grasha going in after this puck. Mars is going to get there first, but they can't clear it. Gregory playing it between the circles on one hand. Down low for Simcoe with half a minute to play. Turnaround try is denied by Starkey, who will freeze for a faceoff.
There it is again. Long time between whistles on that stretch. The one thing I saw, if you noticed in the first period, Mars rushing the play, making mistakes whenever they were getting in their defensive zone. That's how they fell behind. All of a sudden now it's Butler. You notice the quick shots, the wanting the lower percentage passes through the slot opportunity there, and just taking the shot to take the shot instead of stepping up the play. That's what's happening right now. Is that it just flipped scripts here on both teams. Starkey without a stick.
Turnaround try, and Butler going all out to try and restore a 3-goal advantage at least before the end of the period, but Starkey had other ideas, and both teams doing a little bit of venting here before the intermission. And Mars will make one last line change in its own zone with 12.7 seconds to go. It'll be Grasha, the captain for Butler, taking the faceoff. To the left of Starkey. To the corner it goes. Grasha with it for Butler. 5 seconds left. Grasha centers it. Snapshot. Saved by Starkey, and it catches iron as well as the second period comes to a close. And lo and behold, we got a hockey game here in Valencia. It was all Butler Golden Tornado, but the Mars Planets do indeed have life, and through two from Frozen Pond Arena, it is the Mars Planets trailing the Butler Golden Tornado by a score of 4-2 with Brian Mitchell. I'm Matt Popchalk. It's a Berg Hockey Live doubleheader on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. And we are back here during the ice cut at Frozen Pond Arena in Valencia, Pennsylvania, with the host Butler Golden Tornado leading the Mars Planets by a score of 4-2 in Game 1 of our Pittsburgh Hockey Digest Berg Hockey Live PIHL doubleheader on this fall Monday evening in Western Pennsylvania. And for the Mars Planets, who are looking for their first win of the season after 3 losses, things got worse before they finally started to get better, but boy, did they get better in a big way in that second period. Here's how things shook out. Your scoring summary. 127 in the hockey game. Parker Worsley, his second of the season from Brody Simcoe. That made it 1-0 Butler. Then the Golden Tornado got their power play going. Just under 2 minutes later, Kyle Grasha, the captain, his first of the season from Worsley and Simcoe, at the 3:21 mark to make a 2-0 Golden Tornado. Then 9:14 into the first period on the man advantage. Owen Denny, his first of the campaign from Grasha and Worsley to make it 3-0 Butler after 1. Another early period goal for the Golden Tornado in period 2. Colton Gregory, a brilliant wrist shot, unassisted, to make it a 4-0 hockey game, 1:16 into the middle stanza. But then Mars got that goose egg off the board, and they kept coming. Declan Abbey, a hard-working, blue-collar, kind of greasy goal set up by Max Weaver and Ethan Lipchin, 4:20 into the second period. So a quick response there by Mars, just 3 minutes, I should say, after Butler had scored its 4th goal. And then just over 5 minutes later, 5 seconds left in the back end of a 2-man advantage, just when it looked like Butler was going to kind of settle things down a bit and tilt the ice back in their direction. Bam! Weaver with a shot that beat E.J. Delaney from Abbey and from Ben Olszewski at the 9:26 mark. And the Mars Planets are very much alive.
Oh, yeah. We want to talk about the tale of 2 periods. We talked about that a little bit earlier. It was, I was saying that towards the end of the period. You could tell Mars was a little confused by what Butler was throwing at him in the first. When you get up 4-0, you have to be able to maintain. You have to be able to pick up what the other team's going to be throwing at you, because the other team's going to be throwing everything they got at you. Unless you've absolutely, I won't say emasculated, but unless you've absolutely made sure that they weren't able to bounce back, you need to be able to respond. What happened in the second? You saw Mars adjust until they found what worked, and then you saw Mars start to get the opportunities. They started to flow a lot better. They started to make the passes, the crisp passes to the outside, wait for the play to develop and come around to them, wait for Butler to make the mistake. Whenever you saw the opposite end of the ice, you saw Butler forcing passes through the slot. You saw Butler trying to shoot the puck into players. They were getting the opportunities, but they weren't getting the clean opportunities, and they're forcing things. So it's kind of back-to-back. It's hard to say at this point where this is going to end up, but that first 2 or 3 minutes of this period are going to be important.
I think that one way or another, lessons are going to be learned. I think the Mars Planets are going to look back on this game, and they're going to learn some hard lessons about the importance of starting strong and playing a 60-minute game or a 51-minute game at the high school level, if you will. And the Butler Golden Tornado, if they can hang on for their first victory of the season here, they're going to learn the power of being able to put teams away and being able to close out games when you have that early momentum. It looked like it was going to be a very long night for the visiting Planets until Mars was able to get that first goal of the 2 it scored in the second period. So I'm sure that's what's being talked about by Nick Minton with his team during the ice cut. And Minton, a relative newcomer to the Butler coaching staff. Their bench boss of many years ago, Mikey Gentner, the Western Michigan Division I alumnus, led that team to the 2014 Penguins Cup semifinals, lost the Penguins Cup championship the following year to the Big Macs, and Butler's been looking to try and get back to that level ever since. Steve Myers seemingly has been here forever. He even let his assistant, Mikey Manganello, coach the team in the first ever Penguins Cup final at Consol while he was on his honeymoon in Hawaii. So that's how far back these two go, and Mars won that game, of course, the third of a three-peat for the Mars Planets. And they're another team that, as we said earlier, they've fallen on kind of hard times looking to get back. Let's take a look at some other teams, though. We've got the out-of-town scoreboard before we get things going again in period 3.
All right, so far what has started tonight. Kiski defeats Greensburg-Salem at Palmer Imaging Arena. That was a former Center Ice Arena. 6-5. Central Valley and Bishop Canevin are underway. Have no update from score from Ice Castle Arena. This game is 4-2. Butler over Mars. And Montour and West Allegheny. Montour leading West A 3-2. Currently, they are having a special night there in West Allegheny. I believe it is for Rupnik. Has something happened with one of the players, and they're having it's like a they did a couple years ago. I'm wearing one of the shirts from a couple years ago from the Travis Mannion Foundation game between the two teams, and I want to look that up, and I will be interested to see what's going on there. But there is a charity event going on down at the RMU Island Sports Center, and currently West Allegheny trailing Montour 3-2. That one just started, so it's in progress. Coming up, Elizabeth Ford, Wilmington at Hess, Trinity Connellsville at Palmer Imaging Arena. That one's up at CIA. I call it CIA still, but usually not down at the Ice Mine. Neshannock at Burrell, at Pittsburgh Ice, Ringgold and Carrick at the trackside of Ice Castle Arena, and Fox Chapel Hampton here at Frozen Pond. After this one, we'll be on the call for that one. One thing I wanted to note with what you were saying, and I'm going to switch over to the other screen real fast before I go so we can still talk, is that the teams are on the ice. It's not just getting these two teams getting back together. You're just now regrouping two regional rivals. You're rebuilding another rivalry that is out there. Southern Butler County Mars. Now you have Butler coming in, Central County. So it's good to see those type of events going on, and these teams being able to get back together and play on a regular basis too. Regardless of how it happened, we got there.
Yeah, over the years, we've seen a lot of shifts and shimmies and changes in PIHL alignment and realignment. And in the grand scheme of things, the league has really done a great job aligning itself in a way that makes manpower sense in terms of the resources that these schools have, and in a way that makes a little bit more sense geographically, for that matter. You look at some of these divisions, and it certainly does seem fitting that these two teams would play an emotional early season contest here in Butler County. And of this much I am certain, Brian Mitchell, we will not be curfewed here in game number one. These two teams,
no, we will not.
These two teams are well-oiled machines. They got back here very quickly after the ice cut, and we are already underway in period number 3 with the Planets trying to mount a heck of a comeback here, and they have an opportunity early as this backhand was put off the leg of Delaney. The rebound pinned against the side of the net. Lestigian poking at it, trying to finish what he started, but Delaney hangs on for dear life. 18 seconds in, the Planets had a great opportunity to make it a one-goal game, just couldn't finish it off.
So just a quick update on that West Day game. I did find it. It is off of Rupnik. Brian Rupnik had a kidney disease, and he's fought it and had a tremendous fight with it, but they are financially strapped after it, so there's a big event going on the island tonight. I'm sure if you reached out to the West A program, they would be more than welcome for that. Help them out a little bit of the hockey family. I know I've known a lot of people on West A and Montour, and a lot of teams, but it's one of those things that near and dear to everybody's heart. They have the breast cancer awareness here tonight so if you get an opportunity, you have the means, try to reach out and talk to them. Not trying to promote anything, I'm just saying.
No, and that's part of what we're here for here at PhD, because even if you can't give, everybody can share, and sharing is just as powerful as being able to actually give. And
I'll retweet that on my account for everybody so they know where to look at. That's PhD Mitch.
And Kyle Grasha, the Butler captain, going into the Mars zone near corner after this puck. Sends it to the opposite corner. Skating after it defensively is Declan Abbey. Abbey to the corner for Max Weaver. Weaver shrugs off a forecheck, but the puck is turned over, and here come the Golden Tornado on the backhand. Putting it just wide is Parker Worsley. To the half wall it goes. Butler changing behind the play as the puck is cleared back through center. Abbey in hot pursuit as he is monitored closely by Nick Hoffman defensively, and Hoffman got the better of that confrontation. Butler's able to clear its zone. Mars resetting from in deep. To the point it comes. Pellegrino trying to do some pilfery there, and he does for the Butler Golden Tornado as this puck goes behind the Mars net. Sent up off the skate of Abby, and it'll be intercepted in his own zone by the Golden Tornadoes' Kean Freeze, the sophomore. And Butler now comes in offside.
This game has quietly become a very solid matchup. It was a little bit messy on either side as the first 34 were released, but as this third period began, starting to level each other out and see what happens here. I really think we're going to have a really solid game the rest of the way.
It's been a thriller, and as we talked about between periods, it didn't look like it was going to shake out that way, but it certainly has become that. Holt trying to center it for one of the Golden Tornado. That was Pavlik camped out between the circles as this puck is sent back into the Butler zone. In after it is Narishman trying to get some help from one of his line mates. That's Al McKee, the senior. McKee pries that puck loose, but Butler does not give up on the play. They fight for it, and Rowan Musko, the senior, is able to work that puck not quite back to center before it's taken away by Lusk. And Richie Lusk has had all kinds of good looks on goal, but just can't figure out E.J. Delaney yet.
He was about 5 inches too far right on that shot. Like I said, we were staring down Main Street. Great angle for us. If he would have went about 4 or 5 inches to his left, he would have had the ability to put that in off the post. It was through a screen. So great shot there by Lusk.
Raimundo off the face-off win by the Planets, puts it through the circle and wide. Butler trying to get its transition game going here early in the third period, protecting a 4-2 lead. Bad angle try, goes off the side meshing and to the near corner. Mars trying to pick up the pace here as it comes through the neutral zone. Steigerwald over the Butler line, puts a shot off a Butler leg as the puck deflects in behind the goal. Picking it up is Lestigian. Lestigian to the right point for Scursy. Scursy deflected off his stick. It's loose at the top of the paint.
They
and
score.
Put in! It is put in, poked at by Jacob Lestigian. And it's a one-goal game with 13:20 to play. Butler 4, Mars 3. Again, rebound control coming back to haunt Delaney, and Lestigian was right on top of that one.
Opportunity there for Mars. It was just a misplay in front, unfortunately, for Delaney. He's had a solid game so far, but he wasn't able to get back to that one, and a tip in just spelled doom, and we're one-goal game here with 13:16 remaining in the third period.
What a fascinating turn of events here in Valencia. Butler can't keep this puck inside the offensive zone. The Golden Tornado will retreat at the red line and put this puck not quite into the Mars bench. Play continues, the officials say. Butler has to tag up now, and that'll allow Mars to exit its own area and send this puck up ahead for one of the Planets. That's Ethan Lipchin. Lipchin behind the net. Lipchin trying to stuff it in short side, and nearly did, but Delaney was wise to that. To the corner it goes. Rocco Pellegrino up. Not quite out as Ben Olszewski shields that puck. And now Butler has a 2-on-1. Here's Grasha, right wing side. Grasha trying to dangle around a man he can't. Great job by Mitchell to give up the body and negate the 2-on-1.
Mitchell dropped a little too early, but stayed with the play nicely.
Now a 2-on-2 the other way for the Mars Planets. Abby through the left circle, into the stomach of Delaney, who this time is able to hold on.
Yeah, if you rewatch that play coming across, and I'm rushing to my head because I don't have the instant replay like 10 Band does, but he dropped a little bit too early, but luckily his momentum held him through, and he had a hard time getting around them, so he went to try to throw the pass over him. Good opportunity to get the body up and out of the way.
And we'll see them this approaching Thursday, though, at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon as the Upper St. Clair Panthers entertain the Peters Township Indians in another Berg Hockey Live simulcast.
Actually, that's us.
That
10
is
Band will not be there this week, so we will be. This our only Peters Township only broadcast of the year.
I was trying to give them a little bit of love. They're not.
They
even
are getting love, and they got 5, and they have 5 games next month.
Okay, well, that counts as love. It's still love.
So,
there you go.
No. 10 Band does a heck of a job, and
they do.
We appreciate
them
working out. We have another penalty coming here.
We do, and it's going to be the
High
Mars
sticking.
Planets. Indeed, it's Ben Olszewski.
Big power play for Butler to get this one back under control.
A big power play for both teams, really, and you don't want to see, if you're the Mars Planets, all that hard work you did get undone at the drop of a hat. Good face-off win to start the penalty kill there for the Planets, who have already surrendered 2 power play goals to Butler tonight. 11:40 to go, third period. It is now a 1-goal game, 4-3 in favor of the Golden Tornado, which led 4-0 early in the second period. Simcoe from the right circle. Drives the net, then pulls back, wheeling around, tries to send it down low, and having some trouble connecting on that pass that was intended for Parker Worsley, and the Planets clear it.
You're still up by 1 goal. You don't have to grip that stick a little too hard. You know, that's whenever you start making mistakes like that and you think about it too much.
Simcoe sails it up ahead to Grasha. Grasha through the left circle. Pulls up to the far corner. Centering pass looking for Denny, but Denny was too well covered. Now it comes to Simcoe on the one-timer. Into the glove of Delaney. A good job of pitch and catch there between Timko and Shoup. But Delaney had the catching glove ready, and she freezes as this power play for Butler is half over.
Good glove save by Willow Starkey out there.
Willow Starkey, I'm sorry. Did I say Delaney?
I know you said Delaney twice. No, she's, you know, it's been a little bit quiet for her down on her end, so I can see the mistake on that one. And we'll see how this looks here, because they're getting opportunities. Butler is moving the puck properly. A couple small mistakes here and there, but you can tell that they're starting to put something together. 10:40 remaining here in the third period. They just have to hold on.
Mars doing a heck of a job on faceoffs since the early stages of this game, and that's helped their penalty kill a lot as this centering pass goes wide of a Butler stick, and the Planets might have an opportunity shorthanded if they hurry. Here's Weaver. Weaver's got a man going down the middle. He's open. He puts it in the stomach
that's
of,
a good save.
That's Delaney, and that's a save shorthanded with 27 seconds to go in the minor penalty to Ben Olszewski.
Lipshin just had a wonderful opportunity. He just had to get it elevated, and he did. Delaney just was with him 100% of the way, and great save going from his left to right for Delaney.
The Butler captain being called upon to oppose the Mars captain, and it is Kyle Grasha winning the faceoff, but turning the puck over. Here come the Planets shorthanded. Skersey couldn't handle the centering pass.
He wasn't ready for it.
No, he was not, and that is a big break for Butler. Simcoe building up speed. Time ticking away on the power play. Simcoe poke checked at the last moment by Mitchell, who's ended up having a really nice game defensively for Mars as this puck is put wide of Willow Starkey. Up but not out. Shoup keeps it alive as the penalty expires. Team's back to equal strength, but Butler still has it. One-timer put just wide by Denny, who was camped out in his office. Planets are able to clear it without icing it. Shoup on his backhand being harassed by Lestitian. Thank you. Golden Tornado settling the play down as Mars try to play this puck with a glove, but they will not be able to. Worsley shouldering a man off this puck. To the boards it goes, and now the puck is airborne for Owen Denny, who keeps it inside the Mars zone. Planets able to clear it. Back through center is Skersey, taking a bump from Worsley as the puck goes behind the Butler net. Shoup getting there first, trying to go to his defensive partner, Hoffman. And a little too far for Hoffman, and it's sent back to the opposite corner for Shoup. Shoup unable to get it out. Now, Butler will be able to do that through center, and will this be far enough for icing? No, it will not be. Officials say Mars has to play that puck, and the Planets will in flight. Lead pass for McKee is broken up by Pellegrino. Hoffman behind his own goal. Gets it up to the point where it's intercepted by one of the Planets. Woo! And a hard whack there by Will Matusek is off a stick and up off the high glass. Butler settling it down between the circles with 8.5 to go in regulation. It's a 1-goal game. Mars looking to mount to cap off one heck of a comeback after trailing by 4. McKee pursuing this puck with determination. It's turned over to the Planets. And the net is off its moorings as I think Delaney just kind of got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time trying to turn his body.
McKee came in the other way, too, from behind. I think he had a lot of that body on that one. Yep, McKee got pushed into the net and pushed it off. So, and that's why the faceoff's coming out of the zone, too.
Well, that's a break that the Golden Tornado will gladly accept with 8:14 to play in the third. Grasha to take the draw for Butler, and Grasha moves forward, but It'll be the Mars Planets that possess the puck. Weaver over the line and into the stomach of Delaney, who gives up another rebound, but right to Pellegrino, who clears the zone. Planets in the neutral zone send it immediately back to Butler territory. From the half wall, this puck is plucked away by Hoffman. Both teams battling. Lipchin working for that puck. Instead, it'll come to Grasha. Grasha trying to build speed and has to tag up now as he lost that puck, trying to penetrate the zone at the last second. Weaver with it for Mars, which comes back 3-on-3. To the point it goes. That puck is deflected off one of the Golden Tornadoes on the back check. And Mars plays it off its own bench and back through the referee's crease. And now they're in over the Butler line. Abbey trying to get after this one. Instead, it'll come to Holt. To the boards it goes. Up to the red line. Turnaround play for Lipchin. Lipchin just gets this puck deep, and Mars wants to change lines here with 7 to play in the period. Nick Minton making some changes on the Butler side as well, as Simcoe gains the red line and sends it in. Worsley overskates. Raimundo has it now for the Planets' far side. Raimundo trying to build up some steam. Is triple teamed, and Butler clears the zone immediately. Mars has to tag up now, and it will do that, which allows Butler the opportunity to play this puck. And the Golden Tornado will work it along the boards and up to center as it's stabbed at by Worsley. Worsley can't catch up to this one as Steigerwald pulls it back defensively for Mars. Up ahead now to Raimundo. Raimundo for Scursy. Scursy into the glove of Delaney, who holds.
Delaney's going to be the most important player here as the stretch run goes down, because everybody out there has been running around all game. You're going to be a little tired here towards the end of the game. Delaney just needs to stay focused and be ready to roll. They're not putting too many hard shots on him, so it's going to be an opportunity here.
Pavlik trying to generate an opportunity for the Golden Tornado, going the other way off the own zone
Good
draw.
Play.
Pavlik from behind the net, trying to wrap around, put it off the side of the post and wide. I knew exactly what he was trying to do. Pavlik just not quite able to finish. That puck looked like it was bouncing as he was trying to wrap it around and tuck it
just missed it
into
by
the
2
exposed
degrees.
net, past an unsuspecting Willow Starkey. Planets on the forecheck here, but unable to hang on to this puck as it's grabbed defensively by Butler and sent back through center. And this is going to be an icing call against the hosts with 5:35 to go. Now a 27-18 shot advantage for Mars. They've got the momentum, but the one thing they don't have, at least not yet anyway, is an equalizer.
It's been really good back and forth hockey the last 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, these two have really given each other the run for their money. And listen, it's all worthy of a 1-goal game of a comeback. Almost.
And Delaney didn't know where that puck was. Wes Scursy sure did and tried to get there first, but Delaney finally locates it and freezes. Go ahead, Brian.
A big opportunity there for Mars. I mean, we talked about this is worthy of a 1-goal game. I mean, the storyline there you mentioned in the pregame, in a intermission report was 4 goals. You know, it started out by Butler 4-0, then Mars just chipping away and starting to get a little stronger and taking their chances and getting those opportunities. It's been a great game so far, especially these last 20 or so minutes.
Gregory from his own blue line sends it backward.
Oh, boy.
But it's turned over to the Planets. Here's Raimundo. Raimundo in on goal. Kick save by Delaney, and a game saver possibly for the Golden Tornado.
Just said he's got to be the best player on the ice right now.
He was in that spot. Colton Gregory with it up ahead now for Butler. The alternate captain over the Mars blue line. Gregory on the off wing now. Will snap it over the glove hand of Willow Starkey and off the glass. Butler trying to mount some kind of sustained pressure here, but they can't. Planets continue to tilt the ice as this game goes on. Scursy looking for a man down the middle, and it was an open Lestition, but it was not to be. Adam Deal takes this puck off the near boards. Up ahead for Grasha, who kicks it to himself, fires it into the glove, off the fingertips, actually, of Willow Starkey, the Mars goaltender. And the Planets will clean this up with 4:15 to go in regulation. And at what point do we keep an eye on Starkey, or one eye on her anyway?
I don't think you go crazy this early. I mean, definitely not with 4.5 minutes left. But
no, I don't think so.
You look about the 1 minute mark maybe, and if you get possession. I mean, the way Mars is playing right now, you have a good chance that you're going to be able to have possession down low. But Butler, they just need to worry for the next 2.5 or so minutes. Just make sure they keep Butler off of the scoreboard here.
Freeze had some trouble with this one in his own end, but it's cleaned up nicely by Simcoe. Simcoe deking. Simcoe driving the net. Backhander. Starkey is there, and she hangs on.
Good save, Willow Starkey.
We said she's a fundamentally sound player at her position, and she's showing it there. 3.5 to go, third period. 4-3, Butler clinging to the lead, trying to close out its first victory of the season. And the Mars Planets have not made that an easy feat.
We lost the scoreboard for a second. Give me the next whistle to fix it while I have the opportunity.
Shoop on the back check as the Planets pick up this puck near corner. It comes to the blue line. Grabbed by Mitchell. Mitchell's shot blocked immediately by Musco. Never made it through. And Mars will have to retreat. And they'll turn it over to Pavlik. Pavlik trying to flip it to the opposite end. He does. Nobody there in support offensively, though, for the Golden Tornado. And here comes Mars back. Could have had a 3-on-2 if it hurried, but just not able to get anything going off that rush, and instead Delaney will cover for a faceoff.
Trying to get the scoreboard back up and running for you guys. There we go. That'll give you something.
There we are. Grasha to take the defensive zone faceoff, which is won by Skersey offensively for Mars, as this puck trickles just wide to the left of E.J. Delaney, the sophomore netminder. Grasha has it now. The Butler captain, Grasha over the line. Grasha in on goal, backhand try, put just wide.
Missed.
Oh, that would have maybe iced it for the Golden Tornado, but Grasha just missing there as this puck goes right into the logo, and Starkey hangs on. Maybe Butler starting to rediscover itself offensively here with a good sequence there.
Now's the time to get a little bit of the momentum back. You want to keep Starkey in net. That's the key here. Don't want to give him a reason to not be able to take her off the ice here.
To the corner it goes off the faceoff. Butler keeps the play alive in the offensive zone, sending it around the boards. It'll be picked up by Ettinger. Ettinger on his backhand, trying to work it around. Grasha does, but Pellegrino's right there at the right point. His shot never made it through that sea of dark blue jerseys, and it comes up ahead instead to Ethan Lipchin. It goes off the side of the Butler goal, and now from a bad angle, someone was trying the Jake Gensel play there. I didn't see who. 2 minutes to go now. Off the side of the net again, but this time that centering pass was blocked by one of the Golden Tornado defensively. And finally, Butler able to help its fans exhale here as Grasha brings it over the line and puts it in the stomach of Willow Starkey, who is keeping her team in this game.
That's the way to keep her on the ice. $1:46 remaining. I mean, but you got to think all these shots directly to the logo. You got to get something on net that's going to give you an opportunity to score here.
One of their most capable forwards, Simcoe, is going to take this faceoff, and Mars is going to win it. Mars has been just sharp as a tack in the faceoff circle for the majority of this hockey game after a very rough start in all facets. And here comes Mitchell, backhander on Delaney, put off the body of Delaney, and up and out of play. Ryan Mitchell, the senior defenseman, went coast to coast and nearly tied this game.
It did end up in a net outside the rink, though, one of the backup nets, one of the kids' nets. I think it did end up in one of those, though.
And Starkey had started to come off, I believe. Now she will go back in the net, per Steve Meyer's instructions.
So your answer is under a minute 40 here.
Neutral zone faceoff goes to the near boards. It's won by Mars and sent into the Butler zone. The Golden Tornado are right on that puck, though, and they send it deep. Here's Simcoe in hot pursuit. Simcoe's got a man down the middle trying to get it to him. He can't, but he's got some space now. Simcoe trying to tuck it in. It's loose and put just wide. Simcoe couldn't find the rebound.
There she goes.
There she does go. It's going to be 6-on-5 hockey as this puck is put just wide of the Butler goal by Skersey. Around the dasher it goes. 1 minute remaining in the third period of a one-goal game, and who'd have thunk that? The way this game started. Steigerwald up ahead. Too far for Skersey. Sent back the other way.
They're playing pong.
It'll be gathered in by Weaver. In pursuit is Parker Worsley. Johnson trying to get this loose puck so he can take a crack at the open net. He won't. Weaver over the line. Weaver pulls up top of the left circle. Weaver centers it. Here's Mitchell shooting. Glove. Into the glove of E.J. Delaney, who says, I'll take that. Thank you very much. With 31.8 seconds remaining.
What a sequence there. Big opportunity down there for Butler to steal to get a free goal on an empty net, but weren't able to do it, and here it comes. I believe your timeout that you were asking for earlier might be called.
Myers is barking out. Sorry, Brian.
No, you're good. I'm waiting to see. They're not going to call it.
Yeah, he's barking out some instructions in haste here as his team lines up for the offensive zone faceoff, which it wins, but the puck is forced to the corner, and Butler's trying to just eat up the clock here and pin this puck up against the boards. 19 seconds left. The clock continues to wind here. Good defensive work there by the Golden Tornado as this puck is overskated by one of the Planets. Butler unable to clear, still unable to clear. Mitchell fighting for it as he goes down. The Golden Tornado have it, and we're going to get a penalty with exactly 6 seconds remaining, a holding call. So Mars is going to be able to go 6-on-4 for the last 6 seconds of this game. And this is where it gets interesting, because you win a faceoff cleanly.
Anything can happen.
And now Minton, I think, is going to call his timeout. Or will he? Let's see.
There's a timeout on the ice. I didn't see it signaled from the Mars side, so I do believe it is from the Butler side.
Yeah, they want to be very careful that they've got their X's and O's aligned here for this possibly final face-off of the hockey game. It's 4-3 in favor of Butler. Mars will have a 6-on-4 advantage, and again, if the Planets can win a draw, they'll have at least one chance to tie this hockey game. You like drama, you came to the right place.
Ackelson still arguing his his penalty here during the timeout, keeping the referees involved in this one, but 6 seconds remaining. In a weird way, I actually think it's the best possible outcome for Butler because it gives tired defensemen a little extra chance to rest. In a way, I feel like he's buying time for his team here. Right.
Ackelson still irate about the call, but nothing he can do at the moment except watch and hope that the Golden Tornado can preserve this 1-goal lead, which was a 4-goal lead once upon a time. A 6-on-4 advantage. Face-off won by Mars. Shot is blocked. It's bouncing between the circles, and it's covered, or was it?
It was.
It was covered, and then it was swatted out of control by one of the Planets, I think.
I think he saw the opening, and then he just decided to throw it in the opening and try to kill the clock, but the whistle had already blown.
Good catch, Brian, and indeed it is a dead puck with 1.6 to go, and the Planets just might have run out of time here. Shot is wide. Not wide by much, but wide nonetheless. And the Golden Tornado faithful can exhale here at Frozen Pond Arena. A 4-0 romp turns into a 4-3 nail-biter, but all the same, it goes to the left side of the ledger, and the Butler Golden Tornado pick up their first win of the season as the Mars Planets drop to 0-4. Final score here in Game 1 of our doubleheader, the Butler Golden Tornado 4, the Mars Planets 3. I can only imagine what the nightcap's going to be like, Brian Mitchell.
We'll get there when we get there. We'll talk about this one real fast. Talk about those Golden Tornado being able to hold it on into the third period after Mars really threw everything that they had at them. And, you know, there's not enough to say. There was certainly enough drama towards the end of it. So we'll see how it goes here.
A 29-save effort by E.J. Delaney between the pipes to secure the victory. Plenty of tense moments as the Butler Golden Tornado are feted by their fans here. Again, the Golden Tornado defeat the Planets by a final score of 4-3. Fox Chapel Hampton up next. He's Brian Mitchell. I'm Matt Popchuk. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Game 2 here on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest.